He's gone into celebrity traitors as well.
Who what? Bob Mortimer?
Yeah.
Ha! Oh, I must admit, I am a bit obsessed with traitors.
Oh yeah, traitors is brilliant television.
I love it. I love it.
We tried watching the American one. I couldn't get into that one.
Yeah, I like Alec Cumming, but he's playing a weird character in that. I don't know quite what that's all about. Yeah, if you're in the States, by the way, see if you can get the UK traitors, because I promise you, Claudia
just use a VPN.
Yeah, it doesn't like one must not condone piracy in any form, Andy.
No, just buy yourself a UK TV license for £118 and then use a VPN. There we go.
Right.
Sorted.
Okay. Is that allowed, Nev?
Oh, yeah. No, I think it's fine.
Okay. Okay. All right, then. Nothing to do with, geo, okay, all right. I'll shut up.
I don't believe it's piracy.
Well, if you buy a license, I suppose not, no. Anyway,
I read a thing online a few weeks ago. They reckon that the amount of TV license that and people are not having nowadays, a lot of people don't bother with them.
Yeah,
a lot of people aren't bothering.
It's not as straightforward as it used to be to do that, because they got wise to it and tightened up the regulations, didn't they? So that, yeah, they did. They tightened up the regulations. Here we go. Huzzah. Oh, who would like to take care of the socials?
I can do that.
One moment, caller. Please hold. Your call is very important to us. That one there, and press that one there. Hopefully that should be functioning now, Senev.
It is, yes.
Excellent. Feel free to give it a
I'll give it a quick
push.
test from Kevin.
Matt, just to add to my point, what I said was actually legally correct. I've just looked it up. If you own a TV license, you can watch it anywhere in the world.
Wow. Awesome. Okay, love that. I did not know that. I assumed it would have some geo ramifications depending on the program. So I guess something like Traitors, which is owned and made by the BBC, is less of an issue.
Yeah, but that's why I use the VPN, so it thinks you're in the UK.
No, I know, but...
So if I want to watch the latest series of SWAT, which I can't watch in the UK because it's on CBS.
Yeah, but they don't have
I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about if you own if you have a TV license and you go to the States or whatever, then you can use a VPN, which is legal anyway. But then it's part of your terms of service, because you own a TV license, you can watch iPlayer anywhere.
Oh, there you go.
Mm.
This is plain TV talking.
Yes,
UK.
Plain TV, yeah.
PLAIN.
Oh dear. We're providing a great service for the listeners currently tuned in.
Are we?
Yeah.
Have we got some then?
Oh yeah, they're the chat rooms.
I'm so sorry in advance.
Oh, we're nearly 50% sold on the old prize places for the draw.
Oh, nice!
It's having a steady tick along.
Love that.
So there's still time for me to enter then.
Yeah.
Have we not entered yet?
No. I didn't want to, because I thought it was a bit rude.
Well,
it's fine.
It's not rude.
Well, it is, because we've had a quite a privileged life.
I tell you what. You can enter, and then I'll go, because I haven't been in a simulator. No, is that not how it works?
See, look, you can't handle that. You can't handle that prospect.
I mean, there is logic to that.
I mean, it's for you and 3 guests.
Oh, well, there we go.
Okay, so me.
Yeah.
I don't want 4 of you in the simulator. If there's 4 clones of you, I don't want 4 of them, Carlos.
Oh, right, okay.
1 Carlos in the world is more than enough.
Oh, thanks, Andy. Much love to you too. Okay, yeah. Oh, I think I'm going to have to enter that then. You have to wait till the 27th. When's the 27th? It's on a Sunday. Oh, that's handy. Oh, that means I get paid Friday. Yay!
I'm on the last day of the month, so I have to wait until...
Me too.
Yeah.
Wednesday.
John
So
Falk
Wednesday,
said,
a
rude
week,
if you
a
win.
week today.
Nova are very good at things like that. If it falls on a funny day, they pay you early.
To be fair, if the 30th fell on a Saturday or a Sunday, then they would pay us on the Friday before. So, yeah, that's not the issue. But it struck lucky for them this time round.
Hey chaps, I've just realised the next time I can be on the podcast after today is the 14th of May, and then after that it'll be June the 11th.
Goodness me.
I've got a lot of work to do. I've got to go to Alicante for work, not on holiday.
Yeah, whatever.
There's onboard Wi-Fi. You could always join us from the flight there.
Yeah, I can't see that being any form of technical issue and or problem.
So I'm in Gatwick next week on a team building event. Then the week after, I am taking out people for dinner in Alicante.
Ooh.
Then I'm back on the 14th, and then the week after that, I'm in Gatwick. I'm instructing actually while the show's on. Then the week after that, I'm seeing Greg Davies. Yeah, it's okay.
He's a good film, isn't he? I've seen him twice. Absolute scream.
I love him.
And then the week after that, I'm in the sim. I'm like, I'm really busy now. Wow.
Yeah, I can't. I'm for the first time, Nev. I'm a little bit nervous about this Taskmaster cast because there's only one of them I know this time round, which has made me a little nervous. Just the Rosie Ramsey is the only one that I know.
Taskmaster.
What do you mean
Great telly.
Please tell me.
I've never watched it.
Oh my God!
It's brilliant. You need to watch it.
I'm more of a. I get so indulged with series on Netflix. I've got another one now that I've just been given today to watch. Another 50-minute series. Oh, it's one Gemma finished watching it the other day, and then she said, "You've got to watch this. It's about cartels in Mexico or something."
Oh, that sounds light.
What? Narcos?
No, not Narcos. No, I forget the blinking name of it now.
Wow, it's very dark.
But I've just finished the last and final series of Bosch Legacy, and I'm absolutely.
Was that about the washing machine and tool company? Is it
Bosch? Yeah,
because they're not doing a season 4, so I'm really peed off. But because it's been so good, they've got like 8% or 8 point something out of 10 on
Bosch. Sorry, too much.
Has anybody got Apple TV?
Yeah.
No. You watch Severance?
No, I've got loads of things I need to sit down.
Oh, do it. Severance is brilliant. I did both series. I spent a week and a half in a hotel, and I did all 20 episodes in a week and a half.
Love
an hour
that.
Long. Yeah, it's very addictive. Is it warm in Buckinghamshire now? Have you got a T-shirt on?
It is quite warm, actually. Yes, the sun is now out. Bit late in the day, unfortunately, but
it's only like 11 degrees up here.
Oh well, there you are.
I'm looking forward to going tropical and going south tomorrow.
Yeah, good lad. You've got your passport with you?
Of course, yes.
Good.
Because there's always the potential that the crew ring me and go, "Can you go and do a flight today?"
Yeah, as you're here, could you just
It's happened many times before.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay, we're coming up on 35 seconds to clock.
That's good because Ruth's running the marathon on Sunday.
Oh yeah, of course.
Oh,
God,
weather
lovely
forecast
weekend.
is absolutely awesome for Sunday.
Not for runners. That is not an
it's-
awesome weather forecast for
Very
runners.
bad news for runners. Yeah.
Yeah.
For me, amazing.
Yeah, absolutely. Somewhere, a pub nearby by any chance?
We'll talk about that later because I have an actual copyrighted. I've got a copyrighted London Marathon pub crawl because I've done it that many times.
Right. Okay. Jolly good.
Oh, Andy, I've written down your answers to the listener feedback that you put in the group chat.
Cool.
Yeah. So I've got that written down. I think Never's put a list together as well.
15 seconds.
Forget who that was from there.
10 seconds. Silence in studio.
6, 5, 4, 3.
Well, hello and welcome to episode 548 of the Plain Talking UK podcast. I'm Carlos, and in this week's show, how to have a barbecue on the number 2 engine on a Delta A330-300 after engine start. London Gatwick Airport once again wins the award for the longest departure delays, and 2 A380 aircraft operated by Lufthansa and Malaysian Airlines are being parted out. Incredibly, Airbus produced 254 A380s, but only 182 of those remain in service. In the military news this week, Royal Air Force jets intercept a Russian aircraft near NATO airspace, and the United States Air Force F-35 Squadron at Lakenheath are nearing full operational readiness. So, joining me this week across the sunshine-filled, glorious fields of the UK is, of course, Neville Bounds.
Yes, hello everybody. Hope you are all well. Yes, it's been detailing this week on Sue's car. We're doing a lot of that. And I've now found that, well, don't know why I didn't find this out sort of 40 years ago, but using a clay bar to detail your car is the business. It has made a massive difference because we had some paintwork done on it and there was some overspray of the lacquer, and it's made a huge difference. So yeah, pretty good. So I'm quite pleased with that. And yeah, a bit of keep fit and swimming last week. So I was crippled for 2 days after that. And we're doing the same again tomorrow. Just because we can, you know. But it's designed for the older people, and I'm pleased to say, apart from the instructor, I'm the youngest person there by some margin.
Love that. That's good for the ego, isn't it?
Oh yeah. And they're all fitter than I am. Which is not difficult.
That's less ideal.
Yeah. So,
at the moment, Nev, you know, give it a few more weeks, Nev, and you'll be, you know.
No, I think we're into months and years, really. But we'll see how we go. But
do you have a leotard to wear when you go to the fitness classes?
Now there's an image.
No, there's a court case pending about that. I'm not allowed to use that anymore.
No, frowned upon. It would seem in some circles.
And he wears that when he's pushing the Flymo around the front lawn.
Right.
Oh.
That's how the court case started, Carlos. That's.
and that glorious voice there is obviously the person who is, well, he's aficionado of all things Airbus and also beer. Is, of course, Captain Andy.
Hello, everyone. Nice to be back again. I've made quite a run of this. Been on many shows in a row. Hopefully, the internet holds up this week.
Yeah, we missed you last week, Andy. You kind of, you just totally went
there for a bit.
Yeah, I was there for quite a lot of it, and then it gave up, and I had a Basil faulty moment with the router and a big stick, so I just thought best to walk away from it.
Yeah. But how's your week been, Andy? Good?
Yeah, very good. Busy times at the moment. Starting to ramp up towards the summer, so I'm going to be doing some flying soon. Then I'm getting lots of instructing in as well now that I'm back up to full fitness. So yeah, it's good.
Excellent. Well, I'm glad you're back with us, even though you may not be about for another few weeks after this.
Yes,
so,
Carlos is officially in mourning, everyone.
Oh, honestly. But no, good to see you there in the pub studio, as always, this week. And also joining us is the legend in the studio who pushes all the right buttons. It is, of course, Matt Smith.
Hello. 2 weeks in a row. We're on a roll.
2 weeks in a row. You're doing well.
Nearly weren't on a roll because I had a bit of a nightmare day at work, but I did finally. And then there was an accident and I couldn't get out of this. I'm here now. Woo!
Honestly, if anyone that is in the UK and you want to visit the most busiest town in the whole of the UK, I think Dis. It must be in the top 10.
I know, it's crazy, isn't it? Absolutely. Yeah. It's a lovely town, actually. Highly recommended as somewhere to go, because actually to do a bit of shopping and all that kind of thing. It's a really charming little town centre, and you've got the Mere as well and all that kind of thing. Anyway, by the by.
It's just so blooming busy. Yeah. Anywho, right, let's have a look who's in the chat room this evening, kicking off things. Someone who's always in there very early. It's Mazoos. Hello to you. We've got Andy Wilson, who's in there. Hello, Andy. Richard E. Flagg is also in there. Some great pictures this week, actually, from Richard. from a few local airfields near me and you, Matt. That was very nice. John Falk is also in there as well. He is apparently at London Heathrow waiting to board a flight. That's always good. Hello to you, John. Hobby Time, good evening. Richard Adams, evening all with a pint of beer. Good to see that, Richard. Kevin Wallander, hello to you. Says, good evening, gentlemen. Good evening to you. Arnie is also there. Hello from Possum Town. He says, hello, Arnie. We have got Tanya. Hello, the lovely Tanya's in there as well. Good to see you, Tanya. And Sturman is back in the chat room this week. Good to see Garth in there again this week. Masha, hello to you. Alex Robinson, name we've not seen in the chat room for a little while. Hello, Alex. Hope you are keeping well.
Oh, can I just say, actually, you say that.
Yes.
Because I follow him on the old socials, and I'll tell you what, some of those photos and videos he's been posting have been out of this world. There's no two ways about it. Absolutely incredible. Keep it up, Alex. It's wonderful.
Yes, we've got some really good listeners who do have some great social media platforms online. Very good. Darren Smith says, evening plane talkers, back from his Easter week skiing in the mountains.
Ew! I see.
Oh, nice.
I've got a Jasper Carrot sketch going around in my head now.
Stefan Kraus, hello to you, Stefan. Good to see you in the chat room this week. Lovely to see you. And apparently Plain Talking UK podcast is also in the chat room.
Yes, they are. Yes, absolutely.
Good to see them in there.
That would be me then.
Sturman just added that he's always here, guys. He may dip out of the conversations as my knowledge is inferior to you legends.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah. Sturman, you and I are very much on the same page. In fact, your knowledge is far superior to mine, to be fair. You have at least had a very cool plane flight, which we did get to see not that long ago, didn't we? That was amazing. Yeah.
Not jealous at all.
Yeah. Did we get to play it? I can't remember. Did we?
We did, yeah. We played it on the show, yeah.
That's what I thought. Yeah.
Quick update as well for anyone who was fancying potentially winning an awesome prize that Andy, you have got a little bit more info on there on how that is going. We've still got places available, isn't there, Andy?
Yes, we're about 50% sold now, and we're going to keep going. So we got 100. 100 sold. So if you want a chance to come in a full flight simulator with me and three of your friends, do follow the link on the social media.
Yeah, definitely. It's on our Facebook page. If you've not already seen it, the link is on there to the page there. And it's just a £30 donation, isn't it, Andy? And then you have the chance of potentially, one in 100 chance of winning that awesome day with Andy in the sim. I mean, honestly, what more could you want?
It's a very good cause. My wife's running the London Marathon this coming weekend for it. So please, go on, dig deep. You might get a chance to come and play in the sim with me. What more could you want?
Excellent. Must remind me to enter. I must enter the end of this week. Definitely do that. I'll get it done Sunday. Look out for the name, Andy. How many times can I enter now? 50 more times?
Yep. 50 more times. If you want to enter 50 times, feel free.
I'm not going to. No.
Ironically, it probably cost you about the same as actually just booking your own sim session, but
but 100% worth it anyway, regardless. But loads of news to get through this week. We've got a really, really good retro airline ad of the week this week. We're going to go back to I think 1966, is it, Nev?
Yes.
Oh wow.
Yes.
Apparently, some football happened then. I don't
know. So, commercial news time, if all the team are ready.
Yep.
The captain has turned on the seatbelt light. Please take your seats and fasten your seatbelts.
And the first story this week comes to us from simpleflying.com. You may have seen this one on the social medias. There's various videos flying around of this, taken, I think, from the terminal, inside. Delta Airlines Airbus A330-300 engine catches fire at Orlando International Airport. A A330 operated by Delta Airlines was grounded on Monday after one of its engines caught fire at Orlando International Airport. The incident occurred shortly after the Atlanta-bound aircraft pushed back from the gate. Good evening, Alfie. Video footage of the fire and subsequent black smoke billowing into the air depicts that the plane's right engine was affected. Passengers evacuated the aircraft via the slides on the left-hand side of the aircraft as first responders attended the scene. MCO officials confirmed the flight involved was DAL 1213 and the fire broke out at around 11 o'clock, they said. In a statement today at approximately 11:06 a.m., they said Delta Airlines Flight 1213 experienced an engine fire while positioned at the ramp area prior to departure. Passengers were evacuated and our Aircraft Rescue and Firefighting, or ARFF team, promptly responded and successfully extinguished the fire. There were 292 people on board the aircraft, 282 passengers and 10 crew, according to Delta. The airline said that the crew followed procedures to successfully evacuate the cabin after flames coming from the tailpipe of the engine were spotted. Any idea? I don't know if you've seen this one, Andy, on social medias this week. Any thoughts on that one?
Yeah, I mean, there's a tailpipe. There's also a flap track fairing on fire there as well. So it looks to me like... So when you shut down an engine, there's often unburnt fuel left in the chamber. And when you crank an engine, of course, you're driving air through it, and it can get blown out and ignite on the hot tailpipe. And in that case, there is a procedure for a tailpipe fire, which basically you crank the engine, you try to blow it out. But if that doesn't work, then you can try the fire extinguishers, but they aren't really designed to put a tailpipe fire out. They're designed to put a fire out on the in between the hot section and the cowl. So if that doesn't work, and you've got an uncontrolled fire, then you've got to make the decision here of what are you going to do? Are you going to try and sit there? I mean, the flames were it did catch all quite quick. Of course, all the flap track fans and stuff like that, it's all composites and plastics and stuff, so it will burn quite easily. So it's down to the crew then to decide what to do. Sit tight and hope the fire brigade put it out or evacuate. And it takes a lot to actually evacuate the flight as well, because statistically somebody's going to get hurt. But it looks like that's the option these guys chose. Of course, I'm not going to comment on that because I don't know what the exact circumstances were. But a very successful evacuation, everybody's safe and fine, great outcome. But these things do happen.
Yes, we had one a few weeks ago, didn't we? On the show, was it the story we covered? Nev, can you remember? It was in the US as well.
Yes,
it was an evacuation.
Yeah.
I'm sure it was, wasn't it? Yeah, in the US, another one of these.
It's I mean, it's quite a big moment, isn't it, to actually evacuate the aircraft? It's not just something that happens, and it can take a little while for everyone to be in sync from the crew point of view, I presume, to do things in the right order as well.
Yeah, and in the back it can seem like a very long time. From the point you decide you're going to evacuate, you have a checklist to follow, and that normally takes, from the point of putting the crew on station to calling for them to evacuate, can be anywhere between 60 and 90 seconds once you've ran the checklist. And it's very important to run the checklist, because the last thing you want to do is bust people out of the doors with any engines running. So you have to make sure you run it through. And I'm sure we discussed this last time we had this thing on. But it can feel like a very, very long time when you sat in the back.
Is there a rule, Andy? Because you see it on the films on the big screen all the time, that you're the last man out in this situation.
Well, yes, we should be, if possible. I mean, in some cases we might not even be able to get out the flight deck door and have to go out the windows, depending on where the fire is. You know, if it's an avionics bay fire.
The thing that concerns me about these situations is what I would call passenger activated self-evacuations, where a member of the travelling public decides they're going to open the door, and that just has a whole load of trouble written all over it with a capital T, doesn't it? How well, I mean, obviously the cabin crew are well trained to take control of the situation and dissuade people from doing that, but I think in the heat of the moment, if you'll pardon the pun, then that sort of thing could potentially happen, couldn't it?
Absolutely. I was discussing this recently, actually. If I saw a door and a slide blow, I would even if I hadn't decided to start the evacuation, I would then call for it. There's no point in trying to stop it at that point. Just go with it, shut the engines down, do the checklist, and then talk about it afterwards.
Yep.
And Ev, you've got the next story, and we're going all business jet for this one.
Well, we do like a bit of biz jet on the show, and it's on the ainonline.com. And the Gulfstream G800 wins FAA and EASA certification. Well, according to the company, the G800 certification test demonstrated a range of 8,200 nautical miles, 15,186 kilometres, at the long-range cruise speed of Mach 0.85, which is 200 nautical miles farther than the company had originally projected. Its maximum operating speed also increased to Mach 0.935 from Mach 0.925. At the Mach 0.90 high-speed cruise, the jet can travel 7,000 nautical miles, and at Mach 0.87, the range is 8,000 nautical miles. The G800's balanced field takeoff length is 5,812 feet, 1,771 metres, and the landing distance of 3,105 feet are also shorter than Gulfstream's projection. This will give its customers access to more airports, the company said. Well, the Gulfstream Aerospace G800 long-range business jet is now certified in the US and Europe. The Savannah, Georgia-based manufacturer announced today that it has secured type certificates from the FAA and EASA for the new aircraft, the longest range business jet in its fleet after exceeding expectations during performance testing. With the certification of the G800, Gulfstream has again exceeded expectations thanks to the expertise and rigour of our flight test, certification and manufacturing teams, said Gulfstream's president Mark Burns. The G800 marks the latest evolution of business aviation as we continue to build the next generation fleet and bring industry-leading performance and efficiency to the market. With the capability enhancements we have achieved, Gulfstream customers will greatly benefit from the enhanced flexibility and the range the G800 offers. That is an incredible range, isn't it? 8,200 nautical miles.
Yeah, to put it into perspective, I could fly from Newcastle to Sydney in Australia non-stop.
Wow. And so what altitude would that be at? Sort of flight level 450? Or?
Yeah, that's going to be up quite high.
Yeah.
And that's still at an impressive long-range cruise of Mach 0.85.
Yeah.
And if you go 8,000 nautical miles, yeah, you could fly a bit fast. 7,500 nautical miles from here to Sydney. It's just unbelievable that what looks like a little aeroplane can go that far.
Yeah. And the efficiency, I suppose, as well, is being up at that altitude makes a huge difference with fuel burn, doesn't it, as well?
Oh, absolutely. And these Gulfstreams have got more and more and more efficient over the years. It's just phenomenal what these guys are doing. But yeah, it's just unbelievable. I'm not sure how I feel comfortable being in a tin tube for that long. I can't imagine how long it would take. Quite a while, I guess.
Well,
if you're going to go that distance, though, it'd be nice to go in that sort of level of comfort, though.
That's true. Yeah.
Very nice. Yeah.
How much did I say? How much they were? Because if I ever win the lottery, I'd fancy one of them.
No, it's not mentioned.
The G800. Any guesses in the?
Oh, I don't know. 10 million.
10 million.
No, I'm going to say like 45 million, something like that.
I was referring to a second-hand one, obviously.
I'm just quickly. Here we go. Their price currently at 72.5 million.
You can get an A320 for less than that.
That's for the G800. 72.5 million. I mean, you might be able to get a discount if you get a coupon.
Well, get a couple. Or get a few of them. That's get a discount.
But yeah, that's how much it is. They are expensive. Do you know, looking at the price of the G700 and G650, they are they must be incredible, really, really good aircraft because they all hold a very high price tag to buy these.
I do like Richard E. Flagg's comment there. Lottery win or not, if you have to ask, you can't afford.
Yeah, that is true. I think looking for a cheap second-hand one on eBay is probably the best bet on here. But even
I don't think I'd ever buy an aircraft off eBay.
What's the A320 roughly? Do you know, Andy? Sort of price-wise,
probably around 68 to 70 million.
Oh, okay.
And you can pick a second-hand one up far cheaper than that.
And
we'd have to have a few stops.
But the range-wise, I suppose if you converted the interior into a VIP interior on the 320...
we'll go a fair old distance in ACJ, yeah.
Yeah. Right, sticking with you, Andy.
Yes.
Another Airbus story.
Yes, this is from airlinegeeks.com. It's the NTSB is probing an A321neo hard landing. The National Transportation Safety Board says it's investigating after a Frontier Airbus A321neo suffered a hard landing and subsequent damage in San Juan, Puerto Rico. Flight 3506 was operating from Orlando, Florida to San Juan on Tuesday evening. The crew performed a go-around after an initial hard landing, a Federal Aviation Administration spokesperson said. Debris was also found on the runway following the first landing attempt. Weather at the time of the incident was normal with light winds. The FAA, which is also investigating, stated that the landing gear had been damaged after the hard landing. Yesterday evening, Flight 3506 from Orlando to San Juan experienced a hard landing upon arrival in San Juan, an airline spokesperson said. The aircraft subsequently did a go-around and landed safely. Passengers deplaned and no injuries were reported among crew or passengers. The cause of the incident is under investigation. Photos on social media show the 2-year-old A321neo missing one of its nose gear tyres. Early reports indicate that the tyre may have struck the engine, causing the reported fire. Was there a fire reported earlier on? The flight landed safely after about 30 minutes and passengers deplaned on a taxiway, and the aircraft remains out of service. And the NTSB are investigating the incident. Sorry, Matt, can you pull that picture back up again? Because I couldn't see it while I was reading that. Yes, it's not the tyre, it's the entire wheel assembly has disintegrated because part of the hub is still attached to the spindle. So that has been quite a heavy...
I think you call it
rotation.
Mullered, don't you, in the northeast of England?
Yeah, that has been mullered. It's quite impressive that the strength of the gear on the A320. I've seen some very heavy landings and experienced some very heavy landings on this particular Airbus product, and the gear can take a lot of abuse. And it's just very impressive that on that one wheel it is staying upright as well.
Ow. That picture, I'm just looking at myself, one of the ones online I've just looked at here, and it is, it's definitely, you'd have to push that nose down fairly hard, Andy, to get that.
Well, it either landed on the nose wheel, which is a possibility, or it landed as a 3-pointer on all three at the same time, or the derotation. Again, once the spoilers come up, the aeroplane wants to derotate pretty rapidly. You have to arrest that nose down pitch by inserting some pitch up with a stick to stop it slamming into the ground. But yeah, it'd be very interesting to see what happens. And if it did vacate and then hit the engine, it's very lucky that it did not go through the engine, because then we could be talking about something very different at that point. That's like a simulator exercise, that.
Yeah. Andy's getting ideas for the next.
Can I make a nose wheel come off?
Yeah,
I'll have to look at that one.
Yeah. If not, you've got time to program it.
Actually, yeah, Matt, you're right there. I was going to say, is that part? Is that part of the sim program? Could you program a fault such as loss of?
I can make landing gear collapse. And it's quite catastrophic when it happens, yes.
I can imagine.
Yes, and it feels very weird as the whole simulator tips to one side.
Oh, wow. Cool. I must admit, a full motion is still the dream to sit in one of those. Yeah.
It's good fun.
There's a company, in Spain that have developed a home version of a full gimbal.
It ain't going to be good though, is it? It ain't going to be with the best
does
will in
look
the world.
good.
It's not going to be as good.
Well,
as
it's not going to be as good as like
what
what the ones that Andy trains in, but they have done
Exactly.
a really, really good job of recreating what a full motion sim is.
Fair.
But it's not cheap.
No, I'm sure.
Definitely one I wouldn't be able to pass.
If you pass the wife, yes. I mean, to be fair, if the nanosecond that you mentioned the word aviation, it they put a couple of noughts on straight away.
Yeah, I know.
Absolutely. How do you think I can charge so much for my services?
Well, quite absolutely.
And don't even get started on the price of import or bringing stuff into the UK. But anyway, right, Matt, you've got the next one, propelling aviation innovation here.
Yes, so they say. BBC.co.uk is the headline, or is the source, I should say, for this particular story. And the headline, plans announced to propel aviation innovation. Plans have been announced aimed at propelling Norfolk to the forefront of aviation innovation in the UK. Saxon Air, based at Norwich Airport, said it already owned what was thought to be the only certified electric plane in the world. The Dutch firm, I should say, now hopes to connect rural communities by using drones to help get people around the county. Norfolk County Council said it backed plans for the creation of an aviation development zone. Alex Durran, Chief Executive of Saxon Air, said that being able to unlock further growth and connectivity in clean innovation was a once-in-a-generation opportunity. The region has the airspace innovators and aviation expertise to enable this, making it ideally placed to advance the latest clean aviation technologies. He said the strategy we're announcing can give a rural community better connectivity, inclusively unlock new skills and raise aspirations by showcasing innovation and opportunities. Saxon Air handles around 45,000 passengers each year, many of them offshore workers, and said it wanted to focus more on sustainable travel. Its headquarters at Norwich Airport has a roof with 470 solar panels to help power its electric plane. The company also has a drone platform, and John Dewing, Director of Operations, believed developing this technology would future-proof the company and push the boundaries in green innovation. Saxon Air hopes drones could be used to transport people around the county, cutting a journey from Norwich to King's Lynn from around 60 minutes to just 15 minutes. We fly helicopters, so what's the next thing for a helicopter? It's a drone, Mr. Dewing said. We're trying to push the boundaries to tie up civil aviation with what is the private side or the hobby side to make it a more of a viable project. However, Norfolk County Council said it wanted to see the government invest in the county and hoped it could become a leader rather than a follower in aviation innovation. Chris Starkey, the council's Director of Growth and Investment, said that Norfolk had the potential to be a leading centre, if not the leading centre for research and development in new, exciting aviation products. We're also branching out into areas like drone technology. I think we have the skills and the talent and the space, so it is a perfect combination.
It's a damn good idea. If you've got an electrically powered aircraft, like there's, I've seen this one flying around here, Matt. If you're going to have that at Norwich Airport, what's the best way to charge it up? With solar panels on the roof of your hangar. You know, it's a nice open area there at Norwich as well.
But that's not a drone, is it? That is somebody flying that. Well, yes, but a drone is anything that's not is unmanned, isn't it? Really, essentially. So, what's this talk about drones in this story as well? And that's confusing.
Oh, they do drones as well there as well. They do drone stuff there as well. Yeah, over at Saxon, and they do the biz. They do a lot of business stuff as well. Saxon there have I forget which jets they have. They've got the small biz jets they run from Saxon there, and I try to think they've got many many strings to their bow as Saxon there, but that's it. The offshore thing I think you said, Matt, in that story, didn't you? They've got the offshore stuff as well that they do there with the offshore workers, which is quite a big contract here at Norwich International Airport. Just put that one out there. I know. Come on, Nev. We've got Ryanair flying from Norwich now. I mean,
so the problem here is, the challenge, there are no problems, there are only opportunities, as my boss used to tell me, is certification, presumably, of something like this, isn't it?
Yeah. And operating procedures, airspace, the whole infrastructure for it. But, it is the future. We need to start cracking on.
Exactly. Cracking on with the next story, because it's all about the worst airport for flight delays. This is from The Independent. Not looking forward to this because I'm flying from one of these in June. Anyway, Gatwick Airport has retained the unwanted title of the UK's worst airport for flight delays as it continues to be plagued by air traffic control disruption. Analysis of Civil Aviation Authority data revealed the departures from West Sussex Airport average delays exceeding 23 minutes. 23 minutes? That's not a delay. That's an extra cup of tea. While this marks a slight improvement from the nearly 27-minute average delay back in 2023, Gatwick still lags behind other UK airports in punctuality. As the UK's second busiest airport, Gatwick was significantly impacted by ATC staff shortages across continental Europe through 2024, compounded by similar issues within its own control tower. The analysis took into account scheduled and chartered departures from the 22 commercial UK airports, with at least 1,000 outbound flights last year. Cancellations were not included, and the average delay for all these flights last year was 18 minutes and 24 seconds, down from 20 minutes and 42 seconds back in 2023. So this is the full ranking of UK airports based on flight punctuality for 2024, starting with the worst and ending with the best. So, starting with the worst, Gatwick. Looking forward to this in June. Marvellous delay. Birmingham with 21 minutes. Manchester, 20 minutes. Stansted Airport with 19 minutes. Teesside with 19 minutes. Exeter, again at 19 minutes. Edinburgh with 18 minutes. I mean, there is seconds on here, but we're not going to count the seconds. Bournemouth with 17 minutes. Luton Airport, or London Luton, with 17 minutes. Cardiff in Wales with 17 minutes. Heathrow, 17 minutes. Newcastle, 17 minutes. Bristol, 17. Southampton, 16 minutes. Leeds Bradford, 16. Glasgow, 15. London City Airport, 15 minutes. Belfast International with 14. Aberdeen, 13 minutes. Liverpool John Lennon Airport with 12 minutes. East Midlands International with 12 minutes. And the best airport to fly from, apparently according to this survey, is Belfast City, or George Best, with 11 minutes and 36 seconds average delay time. So, Nev, your fave there, Heathrow, kind of middle sort of ground there, really.
I've got to say that this survey leaves a little bit to be desired, because if you look at the published flight time, for example, on the BA site from London to Edinburgh, it's 1 hour and 25 minutes. Now, it doesn't take 1 hour and 25 minutes to go from Heathrow to Edinburgh unless you're going the wrong way to begin with. And often about 20 minutes is built in to the schedule for taxiing time and what I would term buggering about time and things like that. And of course, this doesn't really mention ATC delays in Europe either, and that is often the cause of slot times and other bits and pieces like that. So actually, overall, if those are the published or the delays that the Independent are talking about, I chalk that up as a win, frankly. I don't see that they are too bad at all. I don't know what you think about that, Andy.
Well, yeah, and it's interesting. I want to know what movements they are using here, because they've said these are all airfields with at least 1,000 outbound flights last year. Teesside Airport with 1,000 outbound flights. That must include a lot of airlines use it for base training. It must include light aircraft, because Teesside has one scheduled flight a day on average over the last year. And that doesn't make 1,000 a day.
Perhaps
Does it? So it must
including
include all sorts of movements.
Insects, bees and wasps as well, perhaps.
If it appears on primary radar, they've classified it. I think that's how it's gone.
Oh dear. But yeah, I mean, it's not too bad. But as Andy says, it doesn't really go into the real clarity as to what the cause of all that is. And of course, it could be multiple things. It could be late crew from an incoming aircraft somewhere. It could be a baggage handling issue, ground handling issues, the tug breaking down. I mean, there's just so many things that go wrong before you push off the gate. So yeah, as I say, if those are the averages, then I'll take all those. I think that's not too bad.
Yes.
Extra glass of champagne before we go, Nev. That's it.
Quite so. Yes.
Well, when I fly with BA in June, Nev, I'm from Gatwick. We'll see.
Euroflyer. I keep telling you it's Euroflyer. It's not British Airways.
Well, it's sort of it's pretend BA.
It's pretend BA. Pretend BA.
Yeah.
But the A321 will have British Airways on the side, though, won't it?
It will. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, it will. Yes.
Well, we'll see then what the delays are like then. Hopefully none at all, because it's an early morning flight. It's very early in the morning, so hopefully it'll be fine. But Nev, we're going to go to your neck of the woods for this next story, somewhere where I'd love to know, actually, Nev, whether you ever went here.
I did, yes. It's on dailymail.co.uk's website, and it's all about Heathrow Airport's deserted Terminal 1. And I have flown from there many times, actually, in the past. And it was a great terminal. It was used for British Airways and British Midland and one or two others, and it worked really well. But, of course, it's not been used for a very long time now. And, of course, the airport itself sees tens of millions of passengers pass through it every year, but most will have never stepped foot in its biggest terminal, which now resembles a ghost town following its closure almost 10 years ago. Hard to believe that, isn't it? The UK's busiest airport boasts 5 sprawling terminals to accommodate modern aircraft and a huge influx of passengers, yet one of them is totally vacant and only certain people are authorised to enter. Officially inaugurated by the Queen in 1969, Terminal 1 once stood as the largest airport terminal in Western Europe. Although it still exists, the front runner of global aviation closed its doors to the public in 2015 as part of Heathrow's rapid expansion plans. The airport's newer terminals were better equipped to keep up with the pace of international travel, including the newly built Terminal 5, which saw a substantial increase of flights taking off and landing each day. Despite Heathrow installing a bigger departure lounge, increased seating areas and additional retail and dining space, technology ultimately outstripped Terminal 1's use. By the time its final flight took off for Frankfurt on the 29th of June 2015, the terminal was only operating 20 flights each day to 9 destinations through BA. After 46 years, Terminal 1 was shut, but its closure finally gave way for Terminal 2's expansion, a move that appeared more logical than updating and maintaining the outdated space. Well, following the terminal's closure, it was decided that it will be gradually demolished over a 5 to 10 year period. In April 2018, the entire contents of Heathrow's old Terminal 1 went up for auction, including 110 check-in desks, security cameras, 4,000 rows of airport seating and the iconic Welcome to Heathrow sign. Though T1 currently sits idle, it's still maintained to be kept fit for purpose for safety and escape route reasons, according to the airport. Well, it's now used by various emergency services, such as armed police, for training drills, and at any given time, up to 200 people utilise the space to run through scenarios. My goodness. Well, I remember Terminal 1 vividly, actually, in the past. And, of course, also from there, when you could actually do some plane spotting at Heathrow, that gave you access to the top of the Queen's building. And that was a very popular plane spotting site back in the day. And sadly, for all sorts of security reasons and other reasons too, that got shut down. But that was a great place to go plane spotting. It had a nice shop there with model aircraft being sold, fantastic cafeteria, the whole thing. It was brilliant, absolutely brilliant. I spent many Saturdays and Sundays there in the past. But yes, I did fly from T1, probably 20 times, I suppose, back in the day, something like that.
So it's predominantly BA, Nev?
And British Midland back in the day, yes. Yeah.
Wow. It's a shame you weren't collecting bits and pieces then. You could have had a check-in desk, Carlos.
I was going to say, can you imagine, if, Carlos is not shy about aircraft parts. Why not a check-in desk?
Terminal parts, yeah.
Yes.
Seating or something, yeah.
Goodness me. But,
that could be your new living room seats, couldn't it?
There you go.
You sat. I mean, who has ever sat on a comfortable, gates, seat, terminal seat inside a bit? Obviously, Nev sits in the BA business class lounge, but for us, flying in economy, the seating is not brilliant, especially not at Stansted, and that's if you can actually find anywhere to sit when you're at Stansted. But yeah. It would have been good to see. I wonder, it said on that, you said, Nev, about the sign, the iconic sign.
Yes.
I wonder who got that and how much they paid for it.
Yeah.
It'd be interesting to know that. But, yeah, a bit of nostalgia. And
brilliant.
Where in respect to the airport, Ned, where is that? Because I'm just trying to.
It's one that as you come under the
under the bridge,
the underpass. Then as soon as you come up, you used to be able to sort of do a big left, and then went up to Terminal 1 from there. That's where Terminal 1 departures was, and the arrivals was downstairs. So
Darren Smith in the chat room says there are still 6 stands not used at London Heathrow on north side of Old Terminal 1. The old domestic gates.
Goodness me. You thought they would need all the space they could get.
Yeah.
Didn't you? So,
interesting.
Amazing.
Andy, sad news for Airbus lovers.
Yes, this is from ch-aviation.com. It's former Lufthansa and Malaysian Airlines A380s to be scrapped. 3 A380s, formerly operated by Lufthansa and Malaysian Airlines, will be scrapped for parts by VAS Aero Services. The company announced it would dismantle Delta Alpha India Mike Echo, MSN 61, Delta Alpha India Mike Foxtrot, MSN 66, and Echo India Hotel Kilo Charlie, which was the ex-Malaysian 9 Mike November Charlie, all currently owned by Airbus Financial Services. The harvested components are set to be sold in the secondary parts market, while the Rolls-Royce Trent 900 engines will be available for lease. The company claims it still sees strong demand for A380 parts. With deliveries of Boeing's 777X platform delayed until at least 2026, there is an increasing reliance on the A380 to fill the need for large long-haul aircraft, said Tommy Hughes, the Chief Executive Officer of VAS Aero Services. The teardown of the 3 aircraft will be conducted in collaboration with Tarmac Aerosave. According to the CH Aviation Fleet module, Delta Alpha India Mike Echo, Delta Alpha India Mike Foxtrot and Echo India Hotel Kilo Charlie have been stored since 2020. The ex-Lufthansa A380s were produced in 2010 and are currently stored at Teruel. The aircraft previously used by Malaysian Airlines rolled out in 2012 and they are parked at Lourdes Tarbes. Airbus produced 254 A380s but only 182 remain in service. The biggest operator of the quad jet is Emirates, which currently operates 118 of the aircraft. In total, Lufthansa operated 14 A380s but only 8 are active at the moment. Malaysia Airlines fully retired its A380 fleet, which consisted of 6 aircraft, back in 2022. Well, these aircraft seem to have a second life for parts. I mean, with the likes of Emirates, who even asked recently Airbus to consider building more, are really going to need these spare parts as time ticks on, because they rely heavily on that airframe.
Which I suppose the second-hand parts market must be huge.
I'm surprised Global Airlines haven't bought any of these.
Well, quite.
I've got to buy you a hat that you can eat at some point as well.
Yes.
Yeah, well, like I said, that they aren't going flying under their own AOC anytime soon, so we're all right still at the minute.
That's true, isn't it? What I didn't realise was, just going back to that story, that out of the 254 aircraft produced, only 182 are currently in service. Isn't that amazing?
Yeah. and the vast majority of them are with Emirates.
Yeah.
The early models, though, the very early ones were very heavy. They were overweight. And it took Airbus quite a bit of time to shave the weight off, which is why the Singapore ones are next to useless to airlines, because they were the launch customer and first flyer. They were well overweight. And I believe a lot of those, I remember seeing a lot of those sat at TARB actually ready to be parted out, because quite often fly over the top. And you can obviously it's a big aeroplane. Yeah. You can see them all lined up there waiting to be broken up.
Indeed. I have to say, I know from conversations I've had with friends who are crew, they hate working the A380 in terms of the galleys and all that kind of thing. But from a passenger perspective, I have to say it was a very pleasant experience.
No, it's a lovely, spacious aircraft to fly on as a passenger. I really like them, especially on the top deck in business. Beautiful.
Oh, yeah, all right.
Really nice.
Okay, well, some of us mere mortals have not been able to go anywhere near that.
Even downstairs, I flew back from Dubai in December in economy, and that seat was lovely. Nice and big, plenty of room.
Yeah. But, I mean, to be fair, I think that's more an Emirates thing, though, to be fair, because the 777 was exactly the same, plenty of leg room in sort of cattle class and things. I was very, very comfortable, more comfortable than I've been on any other plane or any other airline, I should say, in terms of leg room and space and stuff like that.
Must admit that the 2 or 3 times I've flown the A380 with Qantas and Emirates, Emirates just do it so damn well with the economy, and yet sort of thing.
They're not the one that everybody associates with, like the premium, fancy first class and all that kind of thing, are they? I mean, is it Qantas or Singapore, whoever it is, that keeps winning?
Singapore keep winning the coveted trophy every year, don't they? But no, I mean, it is a fantastic aircraft, and I honestly, if you haven't flown the A380 yet and you get a chance to, it is definitely worth the ticket, in my view.
I agree.
Yeah, I've only flown on it once, and that was the BA service from Heathrow to Dallas-Fort Worth. And actually, I came back on a Dreamliner because I flew back from Portland, in fact. But no, great aircraft, so quiet and really enjoyable. But of course, BA only have 12 of them, and very rarely are all 12 serviceable at the same time as well. They've had a few issues there. So,
well, I think a lot of that I was going to attribute to long periods of time laid up due to like the whole COVID thing. I mean, they haven't been right really since then, have they?
Well, a lot was stored in Madrid at the time, but they've had a lot of teething problems. Not just sort of operational stuff, but in-flight entertainment weirdness and other bits and pieces like that have been really, really challenging. And of course, if you then end up cancelling the service, and you've got a full A380, unless you can replace it with another A380, you won't have the passenger capacity on anything else to handle it.
That's the problem. And BA's A380s are still fitted in the old club world. They're a good step back from the newer aircraft. Yeah. I think if they spent the time and money upgrading them all to the new club suites and stuff, and maybe do what Emirates does, make the whole top deck business, I think it'd be quite a good cash cow for them, personally.
Yeah.
Especially with premium economy being quite a popular thing now with a lot of airlines.
Well, if you fill the top deck out with business, you can sell the business at a slightly lower price and still make a massive profit margin on it.
That's the thing. I just need to try the 380 in a business class seat with an airline, whether it be Emirates or whoever.
Hey, you can do it in a couple of weeks. Go global, Manchester to JFK.
Oh yeah, I could try that. And then I could bring you back a hat.
Yeah,
Andy, an edible hat. Yes. Anyway, Matt, moving on from one luxurious airline or seat to another one here.
Yes, the express.co.uk, where we go for all of our aviation news, almost as much as we do a certain reporter on the Independent. Major airline unveils new luxury plane set for launch in 2025. A new airline set to transform Saudi Arabia's tourism industry has revealed the first details of its luxury aircraft interiors. Raya Air, owned by Kingdom's Public Investment Fund, has released a peek inside its stunning new 787 business class. The airline CEO, Tony Douglas, likens it to a Mercedes Maybach with next levels refinement above the best of its rivals, generating the question about whether Ryder Air could be the world's best new business class. I'm sorry, the story's jumping around, so I'm not quite sure what's going on there.
And it's Riyadh Air as well.
Right, yeah, okay. I'm sorry, I'm not able to read the story, unfortunately, because something's changed. It's now all completely disappeared from my...
That's all right.
screen.
Do you want me to carry on?
Yes, please, if you wouldn't mind. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. The airline's Boeing 787-9, which is set to be operational later this year, features sophisticated cabin designs, promising guests a premium tech-forward guest experience. The interiors appear to have elegant finishes and are incredibly stylish, making them the perfect spot to sit back and unwind. Designed to set a new benchmark for efficiency and environmental responsibility, the new airline looks set to compete with established airlines for first-class passengers. Riyadh Air's fleet is set to include 60 cutting-edge A321 aircraft, 39 Boeing 787-9 Dreamliners, are designed with spacious cabins, noise reduction technology, and 25% better fuel efficiency. Riyadh Air's 787s will have a total of 290 seats, which will be broken down into these sections. 4 premium business class seats in a 121 configuration, 24 standard business class seats in a 121 configuration, 39 premium economy seats in a 232 configuration, and 223 economy seats in a 333 configuration. Talking about the business class seats, CEO Mr. Douglas says, the chassis is the same chassis we designed with Safran for the rest of our business class. I use the automotive analogy that the difference between an S-Class Mercedes and a Maybach is actually through material choices and design because, of course, the chassis is the same. It's exactly the same vehicle under the floor. The airline has launched an AI-powered mobile app where travellers will be able to do a number of things, including book their trip, sort out last-minute fast track, additional checked bags, lounge access, events, accommodation, and transfers. The app will also use advanced facial recognition to turn passengers' faces into a passport, boarding passes, and payment methods, simplifying airport processes, eliminating queues, and therefore providing a smoother travel experience. Well, there we are. This airline has been trying to get off the ground for at least a year and a half now, 2 years. But it's owned by Saudi Arabia, so they've got unlimited supplies of cash.
Yes.
We're very interested to see what happens when they start.
And the seats interior does look quite nice. Not along with the pictures.
It does.
Yeah. It does look very nice indeed. But these are going to go up against the likes of Emirates, Qatar... Yeah.
Emirates, Qatar, Etihad, all of those, same area. Good luck. So I guess you'll be transferring through, Riyadh or Jeddah, somewhere like that.
One place I've not been. In the Middle East,
No.
but just not there.
Yeah, Saudi Arabia doesn't have much of a draw for me.
No. So, moving on to a bit of a tech one here. One for Matt and Nev, this one. This is from AA.com. A redesigned American Airlines app focuses on making the journey as enjoyable as the destination. So customers travelling with American Airlines will start to enjoy the airline's redesigned mobile app as it rolls out through the end of May. The airline is revamping the old app to fulfill customers' most requested features. The redesigned look and feel on a new platform sets the foundation for a future app upgrades as new features that will only further enhance the customer experience. They said we're dialed into delivering on new ways to make customers' travels with us as easy as possible. So improving the most powerful tool, the app, is a significant focus of ours, said Heather Gorboden, American's chief customer officer. She said over the last year, our team has been taking feedback from customers. Perhaps BA need to take a leaf out of these books, Nev. To understand their pain points and wish lists to make sure we are tailoring the next evolution of the app to deliver what they want most. The new redesigned app is the first step to giving us that base that will allow us to continue to build and release new features so we can always deliver what the customer most values most. So the new features designed from customer feedback include a more personalised home screen that features upcoming near-term trips and information about their AA Advantage points at a glance, the ability to use the app seamlessly on an iPad, a new section completely dedicated to AA Advantage members with the information to explain their status and air miles, as well as information about the member's account. A new section dedicated to all upcoming trips, both close in and far out, plus intuitive options to review flight status and find a trip. Easy to use navigation with similar look and feel to other apps customers use in their daily lives. Inspiration about destinations to which American flies and ways to engage with the airline's partners. Also iOS upgrades, including live activities to display real-time flights updates on the lock screen. The app's more intuitive design will help customers navigate their trip planning with ease, and now is optimized for a seamless iPad experience. AA Advantage members will enjoy a dedicated section within the app to provide more visibility in their progress towards status and rewards, and a more personalised, as we said, home screen that gives customers a quick glance at near-term travel as well as their standing within the AA Advantage program. So customers travelling with American Airlines will start to enjoy the airline's redesigned mobile app as it rolls out through the end of May this year. The airline is revamping the old to fulfill... I've already read this bit here. It's just repeated itself, isn't it, again?
Yes, it's just a copy of the whole thing again.
Yeah. So, apps. Nev. As Nev will know, I have had quite the kerfuffle in the last 6 or 7 days to try and add API information to my BA booking for June. The app didn't work and the website didn't work, and I even tried. I even called Nev yesterday to ask him to try and access it through, obviously, Nev's platinum BA account, his gold account. But even that wouldn't work, would it, Nev?
No. Well, there's only 4 letters you need to know about this. Excuse me. It's BAIT. It doesn't work very well. It hasn't worked very well for years, unfortunately. And you either go around in a complete circle on the app, and even you try different browsers, different platforms, and it still doesn't work. And sometimes you're lucky and sometimes you're not. But AA obviously are concentrating on the front end experience by the sounds of things, because their back end stuff works perfectly all right. And actually the time that it takes for them to post your tier points is extremely quick. In fact, when you get off the flight, I think probably about less than a day, it's all there, where it takes BA 3 or 4 days. So even if you've taken an AA flight and claiming BA tier points on it, but it's all about the how easy it is to work. And if it doesn't work properly, that's when the phone starts ringing, and that's where the delays start happening as well. So designing an app or the website interface properly with all the back end stuff working nicely as well. I think they do suffer from, I think all the airlines suffer from a bit of meltdown as well, that the number of users trying to access the platform at any one time must be huge. I can't imagine what the numbers would be. But if it's not rock solid, then stuff will go wrong. And of course, it's all intertwined with everything these days, isn't it? It's not just the app itself or just the website. There's all the back-end timetabling information, and then your passport information and what have you. So it is the luck of the draw very often, I'm afraid, Carlos. Sorry, mate.
Yeah. Well, we did say before, didn't we, Nev, that how many times that I have had an issue with using the Ryanair app or the website, which is 0 times, and it's as heavily used as I'd imagine what BA's website and app is probably used. But me personally, I've never had. It's an easy to use app. I've never had an issue with.
I think the other thing with Ryanair and probably with EasyJet as well, both of them rely heavily on the passenger doing all of the work at the front end. So it means that from the very beginning, Ryanair has been more or less a paperless airline, although not the whole time, I realise. But so it does rely on all of that tech to work properly, and if it's been built properly with the resilience built in as well and the growth capacity, then it's great. And I think what BA suffer from is fiddling around with existing stuff rather than building it all from scratch again, which is probably what it needs.
We do need to introduce the BA apps and everything into something called load balancing. There's no two ways about that.
Well, yeah. I mean, all this stuff with apps is great, but what do you want an app to do? You want to be able to either book the flight, check in for the flight, find out if it's delayed. That's literally all the app needs to be.
And perhaps the ability to change the flight as well.
Yeah. Manage your booking as well. But all these other things in there, you see them, you can book this, you can book that, you can book experiences. Like, I'd go elsewhere for that. Just make an app that works for the product you provide.
And make sure there's suitable infrastructure there to support it, I think, as well. That seems to be the problem.
Darren Smith makes a good point in the chat room in regards to ringing the BA help desk. And it's a difficult one, because I did speak to the BA's help desk probably 5 or 6 occasions in the last week, and they're based in India, which is absolutely fine. I see the whole reason for companies to move their call centres over to India for cost reasons, but it does make things a hell of a lot harder, I feel, especially when you do have there is a slight language barrier. It is kind of sometimes hard to understand. But I think for me, Nev, it is nice to be able to talk to someone at a call centre here in the UK. I don't know what you think.
Do you think they might have trouble understanding you, Carlos?
Possibly, yeah.
East Anglia.
My East Anglia.
100%.
Although I will say, in all fairness, that the lady that I spoke to on the BA call centre in India this afternoon, after 20 minutes, she managed to get it all working for me again, which was good.
Excellent. Well, we can all sleep easy at night now. Thank goodness.
I know. Right, Nev, sticking with you, and there's a few quid flying around here.
Well, it's all about airport expansion, and that's always a good thing, I think. It's on the dailyecho.co.uk, and it says that Southampton Airport is to receive a share of a £350 million investment. Avi Alliance, which acquired the AGS Airport Group in January, will be investing the money at the group's 3 airports over the next 5 years. Well, the investment will be the single largest capital investment programme in AGS since it was formed in 2014. The investment will help facilitate the accelerated growth of the company, which supports more than 30,000 jobs and generates more than £2 billion in gross value for the UK economy every year. Cam Jandu, Chief Executive of AGS Airport, says AGS plays a critical role in driving economic and social prosperity across the UK. We have ambitious plans for the long-term sustainable growth of our airports, including the strengthening of our connectivity, which underpins the success of the regions we serve. This significant investment will not only enhance the fabric of our airports, it will enhance the role they currently play in facilitating trade and tourism, and importantly, in generating meaningful employment across the country. Well, Southampton Airport, which completed its 164-metre runway extension in 2023, will undergo redevelopment works within its terminal, whilst Aberdeen Airport, which is Europe's largest heliport, will see similar investment in its airfield infrastructure. infrastructure. The £350 million will accelerate AGS's sustainability agenda, including its commitment to achieving net zero for its direct emissions by the mid-2030s. Alongside its investment plans, Avialliance confirmed the appointment of Charles Hammond OBE as the new chair of AGS, and he said it's been an absolute privilege to have been appointed chair of the company. Well, that bit of news is good. I think we're into the regional flying thing here again, aren't we? So all I ever remember about Southampton Airport is the aircraft that overran the runway on landing and went across the M27. But apart from that, yeah, it's obviously a very good, strategic airport on the south coast for connections to the Channel Islands for the shortest hops and up to the northeast of England for the longer sectors.
Does get some winter flights to Geneva as well.
Does it? Oh, okay, for the skiing season, yeah.
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 Yeah. It's a nice little airport.
Yeah.
Good to see Aberdeen as part of this group getting some investment as well.
Yeah.
I like Aberdeen as an airport, but it does need a lot of work to its infrastructure.
Yes, that was one of the ones that was owned by BAA, wasn't it, back in the day?
Yeah.
As well. Yeah, along with Edinburgh and Glasgow. Yeah. And Inverness too, probably. Yeah.
And there's a big GA field as well, I think, isn't it, Andy? If I'm right in saying Southampton has a lot of GA stuff going on out there.
Ooh, I guess so.
I think
Not
it does,
sure.
yeah. It features heavily, I think, on one of the forum sites I'm part of. But yeah, £350 million. Good little split between them all there. So hopefully that'll bring in some more jobs as well for people. Always good. Right, Nev, it's time for the next thrilling part of the show, isn't it?
Yes, it's the Retro Airline Ad of the Week. I've not seen this one yet, so I'm looking forward to it. Well, this week we go back to 1966 and take a look at an airline that could cover mid-America at 560 miles per hour. Just check out the amazing camera work on this video.
Get up and go. Cover mid-America at 560 miles per hour aboard Ozark Airlines' new DC-9 jets by Douglas. The time you save will be all your own.
Go-getters, go Ozark.
I mean, they don't make them like that anymore.
Did you look at the smoke out the back of that?
Wow.
Beautiful little stubby DC-9, like 20 or 30 or something like that. That's beautiful.
But I when I found this video, I'd never, ever heard of Ozark Airlines. Nev?
No, me neither. No, I can't say I have.
But you've got a bit of background on them, haven't you, Nev?
Yes. Well, in fact, the Ozark Airlines commenced operations in 1950 and ceased operations in 1986 when they were integrated into TWA and operated the C-47 Skytrain, DC-9 and the MD-82, which I didn't know. So, yeah, if you want smoky old Joes, those are the aircraft for you.
I completely forgot the DC-9 had the air stairs like the 73s do.
Yeah, the old British Midland DC-9s that they had, they didn't have that many of them, but they were very smoky, I must say, but quite loud. Yeah, so no, we've every day's a school day at PTUK, so I've learned something today.
Yeah, Mark Precy says in the chat room, that's some full leaded fuel smell.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. God, can you imagine if we had aircraft like that taken off from London Heathrow and London Gatwick now in this day and age?
Well, funnily enough, I've noticed that on the A350 and A380s, if either of them apply go-around power, if there's a problem on the runway or, just a general issue somewhere. The amount of black smoke that comes out of these rollers is incredible. Having seen it on the TV a few times. So next time you see an A350 on the go or an A380, just have a look. It doesn't happen on takeoff, but when go around, power is selected.
Nice bit of decorking of the stator vanes there. That's what that'll be.
I'll tell you one thing I didn't see on that DC-9 either, Nev. Hush kits.
Oh, no, it's probably prior to all that, wasn't it? Yeah.
Oh, dear. What's hanging under the wing on the 320s that you fly, Andy?
CFM 56s or the Neo Leap engine.
It's less smoky.
No smoke.
No smoke. No. You can stand behind those and breathe easily.
Well, you can't breathe easy. It's still pretty toxic stuff coming out the back, but you won't get a mouthful of soot. That's for sure.
All right, let's move away from the chemtrails now when you're cruising at 35,000 feet. Anyway, military news time. Nev, I think it's time for your favourite part of the show, isn't it?
Oh, yeah, I can't wait. Absolutely.
Last up, bogeys 135, 50, Angel 16, heading 340. Okay. 100 seat bogeys.
So, it would appear that, according to the BBC.co.uk, that the Russians have been naughty again. Oh dear. So 2 Russian aircraft flying close to NATO airspace were detected by British fighter jets in separate incidents earlier last week. The UK's Ministry of Defence have said a pair of RAF Typhoons was scrambled to intercept a Russian Ilyushin IL-20M Kut A intelligence aircraft over the Baltic Sea on the 15th of April, while another 2 Typhoons were intercepted, an unknown aircraft leaving the Kaliningrad airspace on the 17th of April. The 2 intercepts, which took off from Malbork airspace in Poland, were part of the UK's contribution to NATO's enhanced air policing. They were Royal Air Force's first intercept since the aircraft arrived in the region to begin the defence of NATO's eastern flank, working alongside Sweden. The UK's involvement in NATO's enhancing air policing is called Operation Chessman and sees personnel from across the Royal Air Force deployed to Malbork alongside Sweden's NATO's newest member. The undertaking follows Prime Minister Sir Keir Starmer's commitment to increase defence spending to 2.5% of GDP. Minister for the Armed Forces, Luke Pollard, said the UK was unshakable in its commitment to NATO. With Russian aggression growing and security threats on the rise, we are stepping up to reassure our allies, deter adversaries and protect our national security through our plan for change, he said. Mr. Pollard added that the mission shows our ability to operate side by side with NATO's newest member, Sweden, and to defend the alliance airspace wherever and whenever needed, keeping us safe and home and strong abroad. Incidents like this, known as Quick Reaction Alerts or QRAs, are not uncommon and involve Royal Air Force crews shadowing Russian military aircraft near UK airspace and during operations further afield, if necessary. They have occurred since the Cold War era. So I take it when you're up in the flight levels, Andy, you're sticking well clear of these particular areas of interest?
Yes, yeah, we don't go and play over that area of the world.
No.
It's best to stay far, far away and let military aircraft deal with all that. Because the other issue all down there is GNSS interference as well and jamming. So it's best just to stay well out of the area.
Yeah, I suppose the last thing you want really is a Typhoon sitting on your port side when you're...
Yeah, well, we'd be talking, so it's fine. They know we're there. And we've got a transponder.
Exactly.
And if we're meant to be there, if we weren't meant to be there, then I'd be concerned, yes.
Right, you've got the next one, Andy. And this is noisy news from me and Matt Smith.
Yes. Oh, this one's full of those acronyms again. This is from airandspaceforces.com. And it's USAF F-35 Squadrons at Lakenheath near full readiness. The US Air Force is poised to fill out its full complement of F-35 fighters and reach full operational capability with 2 squadrons at RAF Lakenheath in the United Kingdom this year, according to the head of the US European Command. Oh, that makes sense. US EUCOM established one F-35 squadron at RAF Lakenheath in the United Kingdom, which is now fully operational. Army General Christopher G. Cavoli, commander of EUCOM, wrote in his statement to the Senate Armed Services Committee on April 3rd. A second squadron of F-35s will be complete this summer and will achieve full operational capability this fall. Autumn. The 40th Fighter Wing at RAF Lakenheath has 4 squadrons, 2 with F-15E Strike Eagles and 2 with F-35s. The 495th Fighter Squadron, known as the Valkyries, and the 493rd Fighter Squadron, nicknamed the Grim Reapers. The 495th reactivated in October 2021, becoming the first US Air Force squadron to operate the F-35A overseas, with its first stealth fighters arriving in December of that year. In total, the 2 squadrons are expected to have a combined 52 F-35s. General James B. Hecker, commander of US Air Forces in Europe, previously told Air and Space Forces magazine. EUCOM did not immediately respond to how many F-35s are currently at Lakenheath. The stealth fighter's presence in Europe gives USAF 5th generation air power in close proximity to the threat of Russia. Just last year, several F-35s from Lakenheath deployed to Poland. Cavoli's comments about the F-35 reaching full operational capability come amid growing speculation that Lakenheath may house nuclear weapons to equip them. The F-35s are currently the only 5th generation fighter certified to carry nuclear weapons. The B-61-12 gravity bomb with a blast yield of about 50 kilotons. The certification is exclusive to the Air Force's A models. For now, only selected units are known to have the capability to carry the weapon, but all USAF F-35As are expected to eventually be equipped with the necessary wiring and software to deploy the bomb. Wow, there you go.
Things are going to get a little bit noisy for me and you, Matt, going forward now, because we have the F-15Es flying over here quite a bit, actually, from Lakenheath. We had them last week doing a lot of low-level stuff, really low-level stuff around
See,
here.
I wouldn't be able to tell the difference between them and anything else, to be honest with you. It could be anything.
Oh.
I mean, I could probably identify the Osprey, but that's just because it's such a distinct noise.
Yeah, we had a lot of activity last week, Matt, over in Dis, where me and you work.
Oh, really?
And they were flying. Yeah, they were doing a lot of low level flying
during
around
the day.
There. During the day, yeah.
It was no chance of hearing that during the day. We've got a call centre full of those fancy things that Nev used to sell. We can't hear nothing.
Oh, yeah, you've probably got noise cancelling.
Yeah,
as well. Yeah,
absolutely, yeah.
But no, with the F-35s, it'll be nice though to see some more F-35s around here flying, because it does make for some good photography if I can grab my camera and lens quick enough to get outside and catch them. So, but moving on to some feedback, we had a email in from Gav, originally from the UK, now living in New Zealand. He says he loves to watch a show on YouTube. And he was mentioning in his feedback about the anniversary of Concorde, when it lost part of its rudder flying out of Christchurch en route to Sydney. I can just about remember that one, Nev.
Yes.
News, yeah. Got Gav thinking about head-turning aircraft, so the aircraft that used to stop traffic or draw crowds when landing or departing. So he thought he'd come up with his own top 5 of head-turning aircraft, and he's written down here. So his top 5, starting at number 5, is the AN-22. Number 4, he had the Vulcan. Number 3, the B-1 and B-2 bomber. I'm sure Mr. Warner will know all about that. And number 2, not surprised here, the AN-225 or 124. And number 1, a firm favourite, I think, with most people, is the Concorde that is on the top of his list there for Gav. Now, Andy, I don't know if you've got your list in front of you that you posted for us. I don't know whether you got it. I've got it here in front of me. If not,
I think I can remember it.
Yeah, far away.
The 757, 747, A300. I think A300 is the one that really turns my head these days. Did I have anything else on that list?
You had the 737-200.
Oh, a 200 as well, yes.
With
They
those
all have
JT8Ds.
yeah, they all have a very distinctive sound. Like a CF6 on an A300 is just a beautiful noise. And likewise, I really do miss at Manchester the distinctive whine of an RB211 from a 757. That always turned my head when I heard that.
Nev?
Yeah, well, obviously Concorde is right up there at the top, but also Britannia Airways 767 and 757, mainly because of their logos and how well suited the livery was to those two aircraft, let alone the performance of the 75 especially. 757 in Landor livery from BA.
Oh, yes.
I would say. And I'm just a bit of a sucker for the 146 as well. I just love that aircraft, even though it's massively underpowered and, failed to deliver in so many ways in certain situations. But no, I love the 146. That's a great aircraft.
Now, Matt, I know you've been very busy the last few days, but is there any aircraft of notable that you've seen and you think, God, blimey, that's incredible?
It's the Osprey. It's got to be the Osprey for me, just because it is. It's totally bonkers. I mean, there's no two ways about it, is there? I mean, it doesn't know whether it's an airplane. It doesn't know whether it's a helicopter. It does a bit of both, doesn't it? It sort of beats physics into sort of submission, essentially, but can move at reasonable speed in comparison to, say, an ordinary helicopter. But that noise is just so distinctive, isn't it? You can't mistake that for any other aircraft.
That is very true. You can. Well, you get them flying over here a lot as well, which is makes it all fit good. I'd written down the 7.5 and the 7.4 for obvious reasons, because they're awesome looking aircraft, especially the 7.5. The Long EZ was another one that we've seen at a few of the places we've been as a team before, over at Seething. I know Dan's got the Long EZ over there. A very interesting aircraft to see, and definitely head turning. And sounds very interesting if you've seen it flying in the sky. I agree with you as well, Matt. The V-22 Osprey, I'd got that written down as well, was another firm favourite. And obviously topping the list, and you don't need to obviously guess what I'm going to say here, because there is
it
only
an
one...
L1011 by any chance?
It is,
yeah,
yes.
right. Okay.
There's only one left flying in the world, and that would be the L1011 TriStar for me. That T-tail, or the second engine there with the beautiful formed duct from that number 2 engine down on the TriStar. Just set it aside from everything else, as far as I'm concerned. There we go.
I think we can see anything with an RB211 power plant.
Yeah,
is just beautiful.
Yeah. That was a heck of an engine, let's be honest. That was such a good engine.
Still going in maritime use.
Oh, was it on? What's that on, Andy?
It was powering Navy ships for a long time and various other ships. I don't think it howls like the aviation version.
I'm thinking of a Focus ST with an RB211 in it.
Any car with an RB211 strapped to the roof. It could be, let's think of an Austin Allegro with an RB211 strapped to the roof, and it would be beautiful.
Can you imagine?
If only the original Top Gear presenters were doing their thing at the moment, they would probably do that, wouldn't they?
Yeah. I mean, it would take people like them to, frankly, have the stones to do something like that, frankly. It's just like...
Yeah, we're going to say
yes, Darren. That does include. Sorry, that does include the VC-10 that did test the RB211. Yeah. That counts. That's in.
Certainly is, Andy. I was going to say thanks to Gav for sending in the feedback. It was nice to hear from you, Gav. Sparked a conversation definitely on the show, and got me thinking just now actually with that conversation. With what we've had here about this thing, what Gav has said about head-turning aircraft. Head-turning liveries, I think, would be quite a nice one, because I think for me, British Caledonian, that livery that British Caledonian had was quite, the tail with the line on the tail was quite good. I don't know what you think, Nev.
No, I agree, absolutely. Yeah, very nice.
I suppose Landor for you, Nev?
Yes, every time.
Any liveries stand out for you, Andy, when you're on the flight deck?
Ones I remember from being a kid, Air 2000. I thought that was beautiful.
It was a good one, wasn't it? Yeah.
But nowadays, nothing really. Everything's just a bit you raw weight and a bit boring, isn't it?
Yeah, I agree.
I do quite like Viewling's livery.
That's all right.
Yeah. And Brussels Airlines as well. Their A320s. Quite nice.
Well, DHL's quite a nice livery as well. The bright yellow.
Yeah. Yeah, it is.
Definitely stands out.
Got a bit more listener feedback, Carlos.
Fire away.
Our 757767 First Officer listener, Sam Dawson, was on the email to us today. He operates into Edinburgh quite a lot from the US, and he was saying if there are any of our listeners that would like to do some GA flying around the Edinburgh area, if you are a GA pilot yourself, then he would like to meet up with you if you're around at some point. So in terms of GA, I'm guessing probably Prestwick is the nearest to that on the west coast, and also perhaps Perth just up the road as well. But if you are a GA pilot and you'd like to meet up with Sam, he normally has a day off, a full day off when he's operating into Edinburgh afterwards. So share some gas with him. And he would like to meet up if you're about. So if you would like to get in contact with us, we'll pass your details on to Sam. Just send us a quick email to podcast@planetalkinguk, and we'll see if we can hook up with Sam. Top fella he is too, and still flying the 75 and the 76.
Excellent. Tanya's in the chat room, actually, Nev. She says she's got a model of Concorde in her office in the Landor livery.
Oh, nice.
Lovely. Beautiful.
Very, very nice.
Yep, like it.
Right, time to start wrapping things up. But Nev, we are hopefully going to be visiting some rather nice air shows this year, aren't we?
Yes, got a few plans. Duxford Summer Air Show, June the 21st at the Imperial War Museum in Duxford, just outside Cambridge. That's for the Saturday. So if you are planning to go, Carlos and I are going to be there, definitely. And the cost for that is £54.50, and that includes your £5 parking ticket, which you must get if you want to park on site as well. Children aged 15 go free or younger, but they have to be accompanied by an adult, though. So that's Saturday, June the 21st. Saturday, July the 26th, we're going to be at the Shuttleworth Summer Air Show from around 9 o'clock in the morning. Gates open then, and then the first flying commences at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, goes right the way through to 9 o'clock in the evening as well. Whether we'll still be there at 9 o'clock is another matter, but we'll have to see. But I haven't been to Shuttleworth for a while, so that will be a good one. £42 for adults. If you're a member of the collection, it's £36, and children go free. But again, I would imagine they have to be accompanied by an adult. The Bray Air Show, just south of Dublin in the Republic of Ireland. That's on Saturday, August the 2nd. Carlos and I are going to be over there, and we're going to be hopefully doing some really interesting interviews and some new stuff there as well. We've not been to that display before. That's the biggest public free event in Ireland as well. So that's Saturday, August the 2nd. On the 30th of August, we are going to be at Beccles Airfield for the PTUK Summer Meetup. We'll give you more details about that a bit nearer the time, but if you are thinking of going to it, put the 30th of August in your diary. And we've got a provisional one. We're just waiting for some press accreditation details. We've sent all our info over to the organisers over at Sywell. It's the Sywell Pistons and Props Air Show on Saturday, September the 20th. So you can see the very best of classic motoring, both on the ground and in the air, with live music, vintage stalls and tasty food and drink. and so much more. Adults are £18 to get in, and under 15s are free of charge. So we'll come back to you about that when we've got the information about our press accreditation for that event. But no, we've got quite a few things in the diary. Let's just hope the weather is kind to us as well.
Fingers crossed we have a good summer this year. Let's hope it's all going well. Right, quick round the table then. Let's see what all the team is up to. Let's start with you, Andy. What's going on in the world of Andy in the next few days?
Yes, well, I am not going to be on the show for several weeks now. Now I'm back up to full fitness. I've got to leave the house and venture out and go and instruct and fly and do all sorts of bits and pieces. So I'm off to Gatwick tomorrow. Spend the weekend in London as Ruth is running the London Marathon for Mind. Back home for a couple of days, and I've got to be back south again for more meetings and stuff. I'm all over the place, and then off to Alicante on a work trip the week after. So yeah, very busy. I'm sure I won't enjoy any of it.
Huh.
Yeah, just send us a few picture updates, Andy, so we can, just
absolutely
let the listeners know you're still, there.
I will do. Don't worry.
Nev, what about you? And any flying coming up, Nev?
No flying coming up until June, I think, when we've got a couple of days over in Amsterdam. But yes, a bit of keep fit tomorrow, a bit of swimming possibly on Friday.
All right. This has to stop. What have you done with the real Nev?
Well, it's a question of having to, really. As I've said to you before, I've got 5.5 years of customer dinners to get rid of, really. Yeah. One thing I would suggest, though, if you're into your podcasts, and hopefully because you're listening to this you are, have a look at the podcast that NATS do, the National Air Traffic Services. There's one on Wednesday the 30th, just before our show, actually, next week, and it's called Beyond Digital Towers, Airport Digitisation and the Great Data Convergence. It's a 1-hour podcast that NATS are doing, and they're really good, actually. They're very informative. And our chum Adam has been on there previously as well. No, I really suggest you tune in and download it onto your machine. I must say that they've done a really good job of some of these, so be good to listen to that one. That's on 3:00 in the afternoon if you want to join it live. And then you can, in fact, actually on their website, you can send in questions in advance if you wish, and they will pick a certain number of questions and read them out on the podcast. But obviously you can download that as an audio podcast afterwards. But it's on YouTube at 3:00 UK time on Wednesday the 30th.
Matt, how about you?
Yeah, I'm doing something a bit strange on Saturday. I'm going to a football match. But that's about it, really. That's my highlight. It's a weird one.
And that'll do for you. Thank you, Matt.
Okay.
No, I'm joking. Football's not my favourite thing, as you probably know, and have known for a long while. But no, I'm sure you'll have fun at that, no doubt. And they'll have you back for the England game in a few years' time.
Yeah, right.
Okay. A few of you notice at the top end of the show, this aircraft behind me on the screen, Golf Lima Sierra Alpha India, that is going to be appearing on a certain website with bits for sale tomorrow at 1:00. So launches tomorrow at 1 p.m. If you fancy grabbing a piece of that, I'm going to be poised to go online at 1 p.m. to see if I can grab a piece of a 757 because I haven't got a piece yet. And
could I just point out that you are moving into a slightly different size house?
Yeah, all right. my
not a bigger one.
I intend on buying a small piece, not a large window like I currently have in the other home studio. Okay. So don't panic. And I think if I did buy another window, oh my word, I probably wouldn't be here. I'd be like Andy. I wouldn't be here for another 3 or 4 weeks. But through injury.
Maybe a full set of spoilers, perhaps they could be used as some garden furniture. Possibly.
Do you remember a few weeks back we were talking on the show that I had an interest in buying a winglet? Do you remember we were talking about the winglets off the 75? and I think it was Andy said, "Do you realise how big they are?" And when you're sitting in the seat, you kind of take for granted, you think, oh, it's not that big. It's on the end of the wing. It's, But there was a person on one of the forum sites that I'm a member of last week had brought one and had it in his garden. And they are big.
Oh, yeah.
They are
they're
definitely
huge.
big. I didn't realise how big they were.
Yeah, they're massive.
They are massive. So although I would love to have one in the garden, it probably wouldn't fit too well in the new house, as Matt knows.
Yeah.
Anyway, right, that's it. This weekend, I'm a man of leisure. I'm a man of leisure this weekend. I'm going to be doing some more decluttering, ready for the house move, which will hopefully be not too soon or not too far away. But that'll be my weekend, chilling around with the boys, Dave and Nigel. But that's it. That's where we're going to wrap up the show for tonight. Don't forget, if you want to be in with a chance of winning a possible ticket to go and join Andy in the sim, raising money for that awesome charity, the link is on our Facebook page. If you haven't got access to Facebook, because we had a few people who did message in the WhatsApp number this week who don't use Facebook, if you haven't or can't find the link, haven't got the link, just send me a message through the WhatsApp number. Nev will give you those details in a moment, and I will send you the link to click on to grab yourself a ticket. It's £30, minimum donation of £30, and you can grab yourself a chance, a 1 in 100 chance, not 1 in 200 billion like the National Lottery is. This is a 1 in 100 chance of winning a chance for you and 3 of your mates to go and join Andy in a proper actual flight simulator. With a couple of choices of location, haven't you, Andy? You've got one in, is it one at Gatwick?
One in Gatwick, one in Milan.
Yeah, one in Milan. That's it. So you have, if you live further afield, you have got another choice of somewhere to go. So yeah, the link is on our Facebook page. But as I said, if you haven't got access to Facebook, do send me a message on our WhatsApp number, and I'll send you the link so you can go and make a donation and be in with a chance of winning that awesome prize. And just think, you'll be able to sit next to Andy. I mean, that's the prize right there. So, Nev, for the benefit of all the lovely listeners, where can they find more about us online?
Yeah, on the socials, we're on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and LinkedIn. Sorry, X rather than Twitter, isn't it? Email, of course, podcast@planetalkinguk.com. And the WhatsApp number Carlos just mentioned is +44 7446 975 214. That's +44 7446 975 214. You can subscribe to our YouTube channel, of course. You'll get notifications when we go live just by clicking the little bell icon, and you can help shape the conversation of the show by joining us in the chat room, as many people have done today. Just go to youtube.com and search for Plane Talking UK. If you go to our website, you can also become a Patreon of the show as well. And we also accept donations by PayPal. So if you feel that you can assist us at all in keeping the show on the road, as it were, then there's links on the website for both Patreon and PayPal donations.
Yes, there is indeed. Thanks for that, Nev. And big thanks to everyone who's joined us on the show tonight. Thanks to all the chat room, as always, for being in there tonight and entertaining us as you do every week. And also thanks to everyone who downloads the show as an audio podcast each week, because we really do appreciate that as well. So big thanks to Matt Smith for running things in the studio tonight. Thanks to Nev, as always, for joining us this evening. And also, Andy, we're going to miss you. We are.
I'll miss you too.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah, right.
That's it for episode 548. We'll see you next Wednesday, 7 o'clock here on YouTube. Have a great rest of the week and take care. And say goodbye, Andy.
Goodbye, Andy.
And there we go.
I've just had an idea for a water feature.
Uh-oh.
Because I'm building a water feature in the garden once I'm finished these works. I think a nice pond with a winglet at the end, one of the big long ones, and then have like a water coming out and down the front of it. I think that'd look quite good.
Ooh. Yeah, I like that.
But going from your picture, LSAI does not have winglets.
No. I don't know how old that picture is. I thought that did. I thought all the 75s had.
No, that's if you look at the right-hand wing,
Yeah.
there's no winglets on there. So.
Yeah, I was going to say a nice RB211 cowling, Andy, with a winglet sort of coming off the.
What, you want me to spend double? Are you on like commission or something?
No, not at all. Not at all.
Yeah,
I wish I was.
I'm just going on the website now.
We're supposed to be. Aren't we supposed to be having them on soon?
We are. Yeah, I'm just waiting for Andrew to get back to me. He's got all the questions. He's had them submitted and all cleared by the people up top, and he's just arranging for a suitable Wednesday.
Very good.
When he finishes work to come home and join us on the show. Stefan says get the vertical stabilizer instead.
Oh,
Oh wow!
He's obviously got a big house.
I don't think the neighbours would appreciate that in the back garden.
Oh, just put it on the roof. Say it's a satellite interface.
With big red thing with Jet 2 written up the side.
Oh dear.
Raw parts. Let's have a look.
No, here we go.
I still think one of the best things they do is they do a sectional cut, don't they, of the fuselage, and you can turn it into your own, like a glamping pod or a shed. I think what an awesome shed that would be.
Not a lot of room in it.
It looks so good in the bottom of the garden. And it shouldn't leak either.
Yeah. Famous
Shouldn't.
last words.
Hobby Time in the chat room says the RB211 cowling would make a great hot tub.
It would, yes.
Yeah. I mean, God, can you imagine that?
Can you imagine trying to afford to heat that? That's a lot of water.
I suppose, yeah.
Cost a few quid.
I think, do you know, everyone I know who had hot tubs, I think all but one has sold theirs and got rid of them.
I've still got mine, but it's packed up. I can't. Yeah, we did use it as a cold plunge pool in the. Oh,
Sorry, that was me. Big pardon.
I wonder what was going on then.
Mark Priestley says, got to be the captain's yoke for pulling pints.
Yeah, just like
Yorkshire Airlines.
Yorkshire Airlines, yes, of course. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's
Although
Taking
actually,
off from Leeds and landing in Leeds.
Actually, the Airbus side stick lends itself better to pulling a pint, though, doesn't it? If you think about it.
It
Doesn't
does,
look as
yes.
good, though. Doesn't look as good, though. No.
sure.
Not as good as Yorkshire Airlines, anyway.
Far more practical, though. Get a
And
table.
again, if you've not seen that advert, just go on YouTube and Google Yorkshire Airlines. It is entertainment at its best.
See, it was a Hale and Pierce sketch, wasn't it?
Yeah. Oh, they were brilliant. Absolutely brilliant.
I've been
What,
watching a
their
lot of their
blooming
stuff
feet?
recently, actually. Welcome to Alan Bennett class.
So good.
Oh, God, I'm down a wormhole now.
Oh dear.
Here we go. The credit card's coming out. Ching, ching.
No, because I say this every week. And I go, no, I've got to get off, and I don't go back on. And I keep myself off. It's like crack cocaine, this stuff. You got to be careful.
The worrying thing is there is more than one company who do this kind of thing.
Yes, there are.
Yeah, but only one that Carlos seems to be earning commission for. I just
Oh, wow. I've got bits from both companies.
have you. Lovely. Well, that's sort of pretty much guaranteed that Andrew's not going to be available then. Well done.
No, he's looking forward to it. Bless me. He messaged me last week. He's just trying to sort out blooming Wednesday when he can join us. So he's a busy chap. He's had a couple of promotions since he was on the show last. So
Oh, is he?
Mm.
Being a tight northerner I am, let's look in the sail section.
There we go.
Oh, dear.
He's hoping there's a winglet that could be added.
There is none in there.
Oh,
already looked.
Oh, here we go.
There's some nice RB211 thrust reverser panels that are going cheap.
I saw that. Is that the crisscross panels?
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw those.
Of course you've seen it. You sit on this all day at work.
Oh, good Lord. I'm glad Gemma came in earlier and left. Oh,
right. Okay.
There's some random bits and pieces.
I was going to say, what makes you think she doesn't sort of secretly tune in just to see what...
It wouldn't surprise me, to be fair. It wouldn't surprise me at all.
Just delete your internet browsing history, I would suggest.
Yeah. I mean, I suspect Gemma would be delighted to discover that you've branched out on some of the things that you're actually looking at on the internet. But, you know, it's just like...
Oh, dear.
Wow. If you want the first officer York, it's £700.
Oh, my God.
Oh.
Cheap at half the price.
That is a pretty penny.
And again, someone online has made the conversion to convert that so you can use it with Microsoft Flight Sim.
Of course
and
they
it,
are.
It looks so cool. Oh,
it is nice.
I keep trying every week to try and win the blooming lottery, but
right.
It is the 747. Sorry, the 757 was a very nice control column. I mean, that's the geekiest thing I think I've probably said in a long while.
Right, we better let the chat room guys and girls get back to their Wednesday evenings. Big thank you to everyone in the chat room again for joining us this evening. Don't forget to join us next week, where Andy won't be here because he'll be broke through buying the entire... he'll
have gone back to work in order to purchase and pay for the things that he's just purchased.
Thank you to everyone again. So that is it for tonight. Nev, do you want to sign us off for the evening?
Yeah, thanks very much for every... I can't even speak tonight. It's awful, isn't it? Thank you to everybody.
Too much exercise.
Yes, I know. You've got to stop.
Bad for you, that.
Yep. Thank you, everybody, for joining us this evening. Really enjoyed it. And thanks to everyone's contribution in the chat room. Always a lot of fun. We'll be back at Wednesday at 7 o'clock UK time next week. Hope you have a nice remainder of the week and the weekend. Bye for now.